Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So in the 8th chapter, basically it's about attaining the supreme, right? So Krishna says, Anta Kalesha Mameva Smaran Muktva Kalaivaram. That is, whoever thinks about Krishna at the end of the life, that is while leaving the body, will definitely go back to the Lord. And also he says, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajat ande kalaivaram tam tanevaiti kaunteya sada tat bhava bhavitaha. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajat ante kalaivaram. Like whoever thinks about Krishna and leaves the body, that state, not only Krishna, whatever we think at the time we leave the body, we attain that stage. So the Ajamala's case, we know that indirectly he called Narayana. That is not referring to his the Lord, but his son. Still in Namabha, still he got a second chance. The Vishnu Dutas came and helped him. So Ante Narayana Smriti. But we saw in Bharat Maharaj's case, what happened? He thought about his deer and he became a deer. Then he became Jada Bharat next life. So it's very important about our consciousness when we leave the body. Okay, so that's why we are practicing Krishna consciousness, and also that the art of leaving is very important. Art of leaving, more than an art of living, it's the art of leaving the body that's important. Okay, so Krishna explains that to Arjuna. We also know about Bhishma Dev's case. What was Bhishma Dev waiting for when he was about to leave the body? Who knows? Bhishma Dev, he had Ichamrit, he could leave the body whenever he wants.
Bhishma Stuti.
Yeah, but what was he waiting for? For whom
So
was
right
that
person to rule?
Who was it? No, Bhishma. Bhishma was not waiting for that. Uttarayan, yes. Means what?
Uttarayan.
Means what? Was waiting for
Sun
what?
in the north.
Okay.
Sun.
Yeah, sun has to go. But what else he was waiting for? Who else he wanted to
See Krishna.
See Krishna in which form? That girl said, who is that? That small girl. Who was that? Yes, Prabhu? Krishna in which form? Bhishma, they wanted to see Krishna in which form?
A fighting spirit method.
Yeah, what is that form of Krishna called? Which form? The two-handed form, but which form is that?
Parthasarathi.
Very good. Parthasarathi form. He wanted to see Krishna as a Sarthi of Partha. That means not Shyam Sundar form. No, not Shyam Sundar form. Arjuna wanted to see the Shyam Sundar form. Like when after the universal form, Arjuna says, I don't want to see this million arms and feet. Then he became 400. Then he became 200. Arjuna wanted to see the 200. Bhishma, they wanted that particular Parthasarathi form of the Lord. Why? Because 18 days the battle of Kurukshetra was going on. Bhishma Dev could see Krishna face to face. Krishna was just face to face to Bhishma Dev. But Arjuna was not so lucky because Arjuna was behind Krishna. Arjuna could not directly see Krishna. But Bhishma Dev was in fact more luckier or more, Krishna was more merciful to Bhishma Dev because he could 24/7 see Krishna in the Parthasarathi form. So Bhishma Dev wanted to see, like Krishna appears in front of everyone in which form they like. Like if you want to see Krishna in Vrindavan Shyam Sundar form, Krishna appears in that form to you. If you want to see the Lord as the Lord Ram, he'll come in that form. Like Hanuman saw the Lord as Lord Ram. But Arjuna sees as a friend of Parthasarathi. The Gopis see as the Shyam Sundar form. So different forms like that. Bhishma, they wanted to see that particular form of Parthasarathi form. That's why they all got Sarupya Mukti. All of them who died in the battlefield. And so in the 15th sloka, Krishna says, Mamupetya punarjanma dukkhalayama shashvatam naptumante mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gata. Like after attaining Krishna, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries because they have attained the highest perfection. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. This material world is called Dukkha Alaya. Why? Why is it called Dukkha Alaya?
Padam padam padam.
Okay, that means every step there is danger. Okay. And you get only
It's
dukkha,
full
no?
of miseries.
Miseries, full of miseries, like birth, death, old age, disease are all miseries. Whatever we call the so-called happiness in this material world is all temporary. It's temporary. Dukhalayam ashashvatam. Yeah, the four problems we have: birth, death, old age, disease. The threefold miseries: adhyatmika, adibhautika, adidevi kleshas. All this will bring us problems. Okay, so that is Dukhalayam ashashvatam. So great souls who go back to Krishna will never want to come back. Why? Because this is Dukhalaya. Who wants to come to Dukhalaya? Okay, so Vaikunta, Vikata Kunta iti Vaikunta means there is no kunta or anxiety or problem in Vaikunta. So Mahatmas of great souls, once they attain Krishna, they'll never come back, never fall down from the highest Vaikunta planet. No return to the temporary world, because material world is full of miseries. The happiness in the material world is compared to a person dipped in water and is taken out for a second to take a breath. That's loud, the happiness in the that's temporary, and they have attained the highest perfection. So Vedic literature says the supreme planet is Avyakta or Akshara and Paramgati. So that means the planet beyond material vision. Okay, Paramgati means supreme destination. So Prabhupada describes the Mahatmas. They receive transcendental message from realized devotees and gradually develop devotional service in Krishna consciousness. They become so absorbed in transcendental service that they no longer desire elevation to any other material planets. They even don't want to go to heaven. Nor do they want to get transferred to the spiritual planet, but they only want Krishna and his association, nothing else. Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavadar Bhakti Rahetu Kituri. In Shistashaka, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, no, Janmani Janmanishware, life after life, Krishna, I just want to be your devotee. Bhavadar Bhakti, I want association of devotees. And even Rudrasura, when he sings, he says, Aham Tava Padega Mula Dasa Anudaso Bhavidasmi Bhuya. Aham Tava Padega Mula. Krishna, I want service at your lotus feet, and Dasa Anudasa Bhavadasmi. I just want to become a servant of your servant. So this is what even Rudrasura prays. Brahma Punar Loga Punar Avartinojuna Mamupetitu Kaundeya Punar Janmana Vidyade. So Krishna says, from the highest planet of the material world. What is that? Topmost in the material world is the 14 planetary system. Which is the topmost?
Heaven.
Yeah, which heaven? Which heavenly planet? There are 7 heavenly planets.
Brahma.
Brahma's world or Brahma Loka. Okay, that's also called Satya Loka. So in Brahma Loka is the highest. Okay, if you go to the highest of the heavenly planets, that is Brahma Loka. To the lowest. Lowest is what? Atala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasutala.
Patala.
Patala. Patala is the lowest. So even if you go to the highest of the material, these are all material world, material, because there is birth, there is old age, disease. And even if you go to there is repeated birth and death that takes place. But one who attained Krishna or son of Kunti never takes birth again. Mamupetya kaundeya punarjanma na vidyade. Na vidyade. There is no punarjanma. So that's the example we can see when Hiranyakashipu prayed to Brahma. No? Then what did he ask? First thing, he asked, I want immortality. I don't want to die. So Brahma is like, I myself die. I can't give you that boon. So that means even in Brahma's world, there is death. So from highest, Shrine Punye Matyalogam Vishanti. From the highest planet of the material world to the lowest, all are places of miseries where there are repeated birth and death takes place. But one who takes to Krishna's abode never takes birth again. Okay. So all types of yogis, that is karmis, jnanis, all of them have come to Krishna consciousness before they have to come, before they can go to Krishna's abode. And those who attain the highest material planets, the planets of demigods, are subject to birth and death, and again they fall down. How to achieve the topmost planet of the material Brahmaloka is by punya or sacrifice they do. They go to Brahmaloka. But those who progress in Krishna consciousness on higher planets are gradually elevated to higher and higher planets. And at the time of universal devastation, they are transferred to eternal spiritual kingdom. Prabhupada says, when there is devastation of the material universe, Brahma and his devotees who are constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness, they are transferred to spiritual universe and to specific spiritual planets according to their desire. It is said when we go to heavenly planets, we may not do bhakti. Why? Why is that? Why is that we are not? Yeah, Harshini Mata says we'll be too happy. Yes, Because when we are in heavenly planets, we get all kind of happiness. Somaras and Apsaras will be dancing, and Gandharvas will be singing and playing mridangas, and we'll be in our own way of sense enjoyment, sense gratification. So too much of happiness, then what happens? Bhakti gets destroyed. Even heavenly planets, too much of sufferings is there, Bhakti will not be destroyed. That's why earth is very, very important, because here only we can actually do nice devotional service and go back. But it's not true. Like, that means not everyone is enjoying in the heavenly planets. You can see Brahma is the greatest devotee. Even the Brahma Mohan Leela happened. After that, Krishna forgave Brahma. He forgave Indra. So all the demigods are Krishna's the great devotees. So Brahma is also worshipping. What is Brahma chanting? Chaturmukha Brahma bole, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna. So, and Panchabhuta Shiva bole, Ram Ram Hare Hare. So Brahma is also worshipping the Lord. He's also with 4 heads, he's chanting Narayana always. So Brahma, in Brahma's world, there will be some devotees also. They all will be worshipping Krishna. So what happens to them is, when the devastation happens, Pralaya comes and the Yuga, the Kalpa ends, they all will get transferred to the spiritual world, it is said. So 17 to 22 is about the difference between material world and spiritual world. Let's see how the difference is. So here, the Brahma's lifespan is mentioned here, 311 trillion and 40 billion years. Okay, that means one Kalpa means 1 day of Brahma, and that is 12 hours of Brahma is equal to one night of Brahma. Okay, that is 12. If you divide, one Kalpa is 1000 Yuga cycles. Like that we have, you can start from here. Kali Yuga, there is 4,32,000 years. Multiply it by 2. Multiply it by, 2. You get Dwapar Yuga's years. Into 3 comes this, and into 4 is Satya Yuga. Okay, so these are the, so here in 4,32,000 years, how much is over now? We are in Kali Yuga. How much is over now?
5,000.
5,000. So how much is remaining?
27. 4,27,000.
4,27,000 years. So in that 4,27,000 years, which is important, the most important period. Now, Prabhupada says, the golden era of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is it? How much is it?
10,000 years.
10,000. So 10,000 years from now is the golden era of Mahaprabhu. That means whoever takes birth and survives in this 10,000 years, they can all go back to Godhead. But after 10,000 years, Prabhupada says that till 10,000 years, Prabhupada's books are the law books. But after that, Kali Yuga is going to get degraded very badly. Srimad Bhagavatam explains. I was hearing Prabhupada's lecture today. Prabhupada says there will be a stage in Kali Yuga after 10,000 years. Okay, 10,000 years, there will be a stage where there is no grains to eat, no milk to drink, nothing, like no vegetarian things available. Everything gets destroyed. And people has to kill each other to eat, or the world will degrade in such a way that people has to kill each other for surviving, it is said. And will not be any temples, there will not be any scriptures, nothing, everything gets destroyed. People will become godless. And that's why Kalki has to appear and devastate everything. But then it's already predicted. So what should we do? We should try to escape before this 10,000 years. Now we are all fortunate by Prabhupada's mercy. We have come to Krishna consciousness. Next life we can continue. And this 10,000 years, we should complete our life cycle and go back to Godhead. Okay, and they are fortunate. And others, they'll have to undergo more and more troubles. So here, Prabhupada writes, by these calculations, life of Brahma seems fantastic. Okay, but from the viewpoint of eternity, it's brief like a lightning flash. In the causal ocean, there are innumerable Brahmas rising and disappearing like bubbles in the Atlantic. Brahma and his creations are all part of the material universe, and therefore there is constant flux. Our Brahma is Chaturmukha Brahma. Like, which is that Leela? Does anyone know? How we understood our Brahma is Chaturmukha?
Yeah. Can I try, Mataji? Hare
Yes,
Krishna. So Brahma was proud, and he went to the Goloka and he told, tell the Lord, I have come. So what do you call? The security told Krishna. Krishna told, ask him which Brahma. So that way he went and asked him which Brahma. So he was surprised to see there were So many Brahmas with 5 heads, 10, hundreds of heads. That's how we come to know we have 4 Brahma. Is it
Yes.
Mataji?
So
Hare
he become
Krishna.
humble, no, by listening to that. He becomes humble, saying,
Yes.
thinking that first he was proud, thinking that, oh, I am the Brahma. I'm like, which Brahma? Like, and then thousand millions of head Brahmas comes, and then he realizes his position. So just imagine, Prabhupada compares that to what? Our universe is compared to what? Like for Krishna, our universe is like a mustard in the bag of mustard seeds. Just imagine you get 5-10 kgs mustards. Okay, mustards are like very small, black, small ones. No, can't even realize they have fallen like 1 or 2. So there is a bag of mustard seeds, and there's one mustard. That is our universe for Krishna, because Jagatanta koti millions of universes are there. In that one small mustard is like our universe, and in that universe there are 14 planetary system, and in that 14 planetary system there is an earth, and in the earth that is our, this is what we are, and how insignificant we are in front of Krishna. Still, Krishna takes care of each one of us. No, he's there with each one of us in every universe. He's there. So this is how Krishna's mercy is. And okay, so there Brahma actually came to know that he's not alone. Only he's not the only one. So duration of the material universe is limited. Brahmaloka, if compared to material planets, not free from birth, disease, old age, death. But who goes to Brahmaloka? The elevated people, like those who have done a lot of punya and those who are pious and elevated sannyasis. But fate of Brahma is because they are doing service to the Lord, they get liberated. But bhutva bhutva praliyate, that means again and again they might have to take birth again and again, it is said, in this material world also. Okay. So even if they have come to this, to the highest Brahma's world, still what happens? Bhutagramasa evayam bhutva bhutva praliyate radyagyam rati agame vasapartha prapavanti ahar agame. Again and again, when Brahmas they arrive, all living entities come into being with the arrival of Brahma's night. They are helplessly annihilated. So again and again, bhutva bhutva praliyate means repeatedly they are created and destroyed, created and destroyed. What is it? Punarabimananam, Punarabijananam, like that, again and again. So all living entities at the time of annihilation of Brahma's night, all living entities remain compact in the body of Vishnu. Again, they get manifested. And end of Brahma's life, all living entities remain unmanifest for millions of years. Again, they are manifest. So at the time of death, every time we takes a body, at the end of Brahma's day and the end of Brahma's life, again creation keeps happening. So we have to take to Krishna consciousness. Why? Because we can use the human life fully in Krishna consciousness, no more rebirth. Then they are transferred at the end of life to the spiritual planet. Okay, so description of the spiritual world is explained here. Parastasmastu bhavanyo avyakto avyakta sanatana yas sarveshu bhudeshu nashyat Asyatsu vinashyati. Yet there is another unmanifest nature which is eternal as transcendental to the manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in the world is annihilated, that part remains as it is. So spiritual world is like that. Spiritual world is eternal, that's free from birth and death. Infallible, because Krishna's superior energy is opposite to the material energy. Please type in the chat what is Krishna's another name, because he's infallible. Type. Don't want anyone to unmute. So I want to see whether all are attentive in the class. You have to type in the chat to the host. Krishna's another name because he's infallible. Yes. What is our name because we are fallible? Very good. Achyuta. So Krishna is Achyuta, he's infallible. What is our name? Because the conditioned soul's name, because we are fallible. The opposite of Achyuta. Only one person got it. What about others? What is the opposite of Achyuta? Only Harshini Mataji got it, right? Yes, Achintya. Yes, Chuta. Achyuta means no. Achyuta means no, somebody doesn't have any fault. Chuta means fall. So we fall. Fall in the sense we fell from the spiritual world to the material world. But Krishna doesn't fall in the sense Krishna appears and disappears. He doesn't fall like us. So he's infallible. And he doesn't fall from the position of being the supreme personality Godhead. Even he become the chariot driver of Arjuna, and he never falls to reciprocate to the devotees or protect the devotees. So he's full of unlimited bliss. Today I was hearing a lecture and says there was some the plane, the flights when they was going through the clouds or sometimes heavy rain and all. There'll be like that kind of turbulence. No, the seatbelt sign is on, and it's like sometimes there's a jerk. Now something happens to the flight, and then everybody was so tensed. So there was one devotee who was chanting, who understood, okay, the flight is going to have some problem. They might have an emergency landing or something. And then there was a lot, everyone was panicking. So then what happened? Recently, I heard somebody opened the emergency exit in the flight, and everybody was like so much of tense. No, definitely so much wind coming in. You can't even in the middle of the flight in the way. So now what to do? So the devotee took the chanting bag and started chanting loudly because there's so much of noise around. Everybody's panicking. So they're like, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare. So, but the plane landed safely, and the flight, and then the devotee said, that was the best rounds I chanted in my life. Why? Because it was like you're facing death, or you're facing it, and then you come face to face with death, and you're like intensely chanting. So it is said every round we chant, we should think, oh, this is my last round I'm chanting, and then intensely chanting. So that devotee was chanting. And then on the middle of the chanting, he realized the flight is not going to crash or something, because I'm not a pure devotee because I'm chanting Krishna's holy name, and I'm going to go, like whoever chants the holy name and definitely go back. So that devotee realized that I'm not a pure devotee, no? To that I chant Krishna's holy name and go back to spiritual world. So death will never come now because I'm not eligible. How will Krishna tolerate a person like me with a full of anarthas in the spiritual world? So that person himself said that now flight is going to land safely because I know I'm not eligible to go back to Krishna because I'm remembering Krishna, and the death is going to come, but death will not come because I'm not eligible. Something like that. Okay, so that is that devotee's realization. Okay, so the spiritual world is full of unlimited bliss as opposed to the material world, which is full of miseries, and it fulfills all desire. What is the tree in the spiritual world called as? No. The trees in the spiritual world are called as?
Urdhva
Oh, no, that's material world.
Kalpavriksha.
Kalpavriksha, that means desire tree. That means here in a mango tree, you will get only mangoes. From coconut trees, you get coconut. But in desire tree or kalpavriksha means it's a tree where you get all type of fruits from one tree. Just imagine. So, Chintamani pragara salpatu kalpavriksha laksha vadesha surabir apipaleyandam lakshmi sahasra sada samrama sevyamanam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So Chintamani is a touchstones. It's made up of touchstones and kalpavriksha. Okay, so there's desire trees. Okay, so fulfill all desire means it fulfills the spiritual desires, not material desires. And all attractive. Krishna means all attractive. The spiritual world is also all attractive. And it is unmanifested to the mundane eyes. It's transcendental to the manifest and unmanifest. Okay. Lord's abode will never change like material world, and it is composed of the Chit Shakti of the Lord. It's a supreme destination, means after going there, no more coming back. A place of no return. The place there is no more return. Okay, once you go, no more coming back. So the description of the spiritual world is given in text 21. Says the supreme abode of the Supreme Lord Krishna is described in Brahma Samhita as Chintamani. The verse I chanted, it says Chintamani pragara salpadu kalpavriksha, this is desire trees, where spiritual desires are fulfilled. And the supreme abode of Lord Krishna is called Goloka Vrindavan. It's a place made up of touchstone. And there is also trees called desire tree, which can supply any type of eatable upon demands. And there are cows called Surabhi cows. Surabhi cows are those we can supply unlimited supply of milk. And there is also Lakshmi Sahasra Sada Sambramase, thousands and hundreds of goddess of Lakshmi or the fortunes is serving Krishna, and Krishna is the cause of all cause. And how is he? Venum Kanvantam Aravinda Dalaya Daksham Barhavatamsham Ashitam Buddha Sundarangam Kantar Pakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shopam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So Krishna is in the transcendental form. He is having a flute, no? That is Venum Kanvantam. And also his body, the color is of the cloud, and also the beauty excels thousands of cupids. And also he wears a saffron cloth, and there's a garland around his neck and a peacock feather in his hair. So this is how Krishna is in his spiritual world. So why is Krishna getting explained so much here? Why is so much beauty of the spiritual world and Krishna's beauty and all explained so much? What is the purpose behind that?
Mataji, we to get attracted.
Yeah, for us to get attracted. Like, for example, there is a beautiful place in any place, like in somewhere, some hill station, something. And I keep explaining about that place. Or like, for example, we can say Vrindavan. So Vrindavan is like that. Vrindavan has nice Radha Kund and the beautiful Govardhan and all that. So you keep hearing, you feel like going there. Even if it's a material place like anywhere like Juhu Beach, whatever I explain and say, oh, it's so nice there, such a place is there, you have to go. So you'll have that desire, oh, I want to go once. You have the desire to go. So similarly, we are hearing so much about the spiritual world. You can see touchstone and desire trees and Surabhi cows. They feel like, oh, I want to go there once. And you see the beautiful form of Krishna. When it's explained, you feel like seeing Krishna. So for us to get attracted to Krishna and his pastimes and his abode, so that we seriously try to go back. Okay, so in 22nd sloka says how to go to the spiritual world. Purushasa parapata bhaktya labhyastu ananyaya yasyantastani bhudani yena sarvam idam tatam. So the Supreme Personality Godhead, who is greater than all, is attained by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all pervading and everything is situated within him. So Golokeva Nivishyati Agilatma Bhuta. He is in Goloka, but he'll be there everywhere. That is the Achintya Shakti of the Lord. So the Lord is everywhere. It also says the supreme destination is from where there's no more return. So Lord is all pervading by his spiritual and material energies. And Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratipabhitavyas. That means Krishna is residing in his Goloka and is permeated and visualized by ever beautiful spiritual rasa, vitalized. So although the Lord is always in his abode, he is pervaded by his material energy. Andandarastha Paramadacharya, he is there in every action. And Yasyantastani Bhutani, that means everything is sustained by Krishna, his spiritual and material energy. And Bhaktya, who can enter the Lord's world? The enter of Krishna's abode of Vaikuntha planets is possible only by Bhakti. Bhaktya Mamavi Janati. So the description of the Supreme Abode is the Supreme Personality Godhead reside in the Supreme Abode and has millions of planetary expansions. And it is explained in different forms. Okay, so in the Vedas, the Lord with the tree bearing many fruits and flowers and leaves are compared, and similarly the Lord expands to planetary expansion. Okay, so Golokeva Nivishitya Kalatma Bhuta means although the Lord reside in the supreme abode, he is all pervading. See, Krishna is in a supreme abode, okay? And when Krishna descends in the material world to take birth, does that mean Krishna is not in the Goloka? No, Krishna is there in Goloka. See, when you are in the office, you're in the office. You're not at home. But Krishna is not like that. Same time, he can be in the 16,108 palaces of queens in Dwaraka when Narad Muni came. Same time, he can be in a thumb size in Uttara's womb. He can be outside with Kunti Bharani. So same time, Krishna can expand in Rasa Leela to different, like in Brahma Mohan Leela also. For 1 year, when Brahma kidnapped the boys and the cows, Krishna only expanded and became all of them. So Krishna is all pervading. And Parasya Sakti Vividaiva Suyate means Supreme Lord, although residing far away, systematically conducts everything in the cosmic manifestation by his all-pervading energy. Krishna has different energy, no? External, internal. So with all those energies, he controls everything. Okay. So what is the other classification of Krishna's energy? One is external, internal. Next is any other classification? There's only 28 slokas. We'll finish the chapter today. After that, we'll have the first OBA of module 2. Yeah, marginal energy. Very good. So there's marginal energy of the Lord, and that is Tadastha Shakti. Yes, Malti Mataji, Harshni Mataji. Yes, marginal energy is the Tadastha Shakti or us. Okay, the Jivatmas are called the marginal energy of the Lord. That is Tadastha Shakti. So there is external, internal energy of the Lord. There is also superior, inferior energies of the Lord, the marginal energy. Okay. So 23 to 28 talks about the supremacy of pure devotional bhakti in attaining Krishna. Why it's very important to have bhakti. Because that is the only, what is our ticket back to Godhead? Like you need to show a ticket now when you travel in a flight or wherever. So what is that ticket?
Chanting.
What is the material? What? Yeah, you're right. So with, what is it? Japa packs or Japa beads. The Japa beads are our ticket to back to Godhead, it is said. So yes, that's the way, because Goloke, what is it? Golokera Premadan Harinam Sankirtan. So the Harinam Sankirtan is coming from Goloka and it takes us back to Godhead. So this chanting has to be sincerely done. This Saturday is Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi. Okay, before I forget. Very, very auspicious to take, if you can, Nirjala Ekadashi on that day without even water. Because whatever benefit you get by taking all the 24 Ekadashis in the whole year, if you have missed any Ekadashis by traveling or anything, the whole benefit of the whole 24 Ekadashis you get just by taking Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi. That is on 7th, June 7th. So Saturday. So try.
My 1 year started from last year, Mata. Nirjal I was doing, Mata, since last
Nice.
Nirjal Ekadashi. Yeah.
Very
Hare
good.
Krishna.
So we are not able to do other Ekadashis, but if you take this Pandava Nirjala, because Bhima could not take Ekadashi, and then Krishna gave special mercy by saying to Bhima that, yes, you take fasting on this particular day and the whole benefit you get. Okay. So why I said that is we have to increase our chanting on such days. Like then we will not have any other desire to drink water or anything. And you will not, and you should stay fresh and take nice sleep on the previous day, heavy, avoid heavy dinners. So because Prabhupada never encouraged Nirjal fasting. Why? Because once they took Nirjal fasting and always sleeping in the matha. And Prabhupada never encouraged that. Prabhupada's like, you have to eat to get energy through service. There's a lot of service in the temple. If you come, like they can't do Nirjal. Even those who are sweeping in the temple, they are also trying to, they are becoming devotees. They are chanting and they are taking Ekadashi. So, but then when they have to do a lot of work, you'll become very tired. You become hypoglycemic and there'll be dehydration. So then seva will not happen. So for that, Prabhupada never encouraged Nirjal. But those who can, if your health is permitting and if you can take. But this Ekadashi, at least we should try to take. That will give a lot of benefit. And what should we do at that time? So here it is said, you have to increase your chanting. The more we increase our chanting, the more we get taste to that. So the process to go back or different at the different time of death, here it is yatra kale tva anavrityam avrityam chaiva yoginaha prayata yanti tam kalam vakshyami varadarshapa. For best of Bharadas, I shall now explain to you the different times at which passing away from this world the yogi does or does not come back. So now he is saying that for yogis, for a devotee, it doesn't matter. Okay. For a devotee, it doesn't matter what time of the day or night he passes away, because the devotee is always remembering the Lord. And if the devotee cannot remember the Lord, aham smarami bhakta, Krishna says he will remember. But for a yogi or for a yogic person, we'll see what is important. So here it is said, Krishna is explaining different times at which they should leave the body. So Annala devotees who are totally surrendered, for them, it doesn't matter. They leave everything in Krishna's hands. And so he easily and happily, they go back to Godhead. But those who are karma yogis, jnana yogis, hatha yogis, when they leave the body at a particular suitable time, sometimes they return to the material world or sometimes they get liberated. Now you've seen yogis, what they do, they could control the prana vayu and all, the soul, and it makes them come to the top of the head, and they leaves the body like that. So an expert yogi can choose. If not expert in choosing, then depends upon accident or destiny. And so here we'll see at the time of day for like the sea, path of light, the ways of moving, leaving the body. So for jnanis and yogis, what happens at an auspicious moment in light and fire? That means at daytime, during the day, in Shukla Paksha, means fortnight of waxing the moon, and Uttarayan, the 6 month when sun travels to the north. When they go, leaves the body, they go to Brahmachoti. That is liberation. And Brahmachoti, but they come back because that's the Sayuja Mukti. And in the darkness, that is night, during smoke, or Krishna Paksha, or Dakshinayana, for Karmis, what happens? They go to heaven. And there's rebirth again. So although liberation is in principle is the path of no return, attaining Brahmachoti, effulgence of the Lord, the jnanis are likely to return back. Why? Because lack of spiritual engagement or devotional service there. There is only Brahmananda, there's no Sevananda. So those are fruitive laborers, that is karmis and philosophical speculators, from time immemorial are constantly going and coming. Actually, they do not attain ultimate salvation, or they do not surrender to Krishna. Okay, and they go to moon planets or heavenly planets. Kapila Dev also says that those who are expert in fruitive activities and sacrificial methods on earth, they attain to the moon planet at time of death. And elevated souls in moon planet, what is the lifespan moon planet? 10,000 years. Okay, so they enjoy their drinking somaras, and then eventually they go back, come back to earth. This means that on the moon, there are higher classes of living beings, although they may not be perceived by gross senses. That's why, when scientists, they send satellites or whatever they try to discover, they say there is no life on other planets. No, that's wrong. Bhagavatam says there is life in all other planetary systems, and they'll prove it. The scientists may not have proved it, or they cannot perceive it through their gross senses, but Shastras can never be wrong. The Shastra says there is life in other planets. So Prabhupada says, mystics who are advanced in yoga practice can arrange a time and place to leave the body. Like some yogis, they predict and say that, yes, at this time, at this place, I'm going to leave the body. They have Ichha Mrityu. They can decide at what time they leave the body. Others, they don't have any control. If by accident they leave at an auspicious moment, they will not return to the cycle of leave at an auspicious, they will not return to the cycle of birth and death. But otherwise, there is every possibility that they will have to return. However, for a pure devotee in Krishna consciousness, there is no fear of returning. Whether he leaves the body at an auspicious or inauspicious moment, by accident or by arrangement, doesn't matter. So now we are not pure devotees. Now what for us? No, but still Krishna will definitely plan something higher for us. We will not degrade. Okay. So path of the devotees are explained here. How a devotee goes. Naitre Sri Partha Janan Yogi Mukhyati Kashana Tasma Sarveshu Kaleshu Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna. Although the devotees know these two paths, Arjuna, they never bewildered. Therefore, we always fixed in devotion. So for a devotee, we don't have to bother, like should I leave the body in the day or night or Uttarayan, Dakshinayana? No, nothing. At the time of death, the mind carries one to a new life. People in general must leave the body at a suitable time to be assured whether or not to return to the material world. But for a pure devotee in Krishna consciousness, there is no fear of returning to this material world, whether they leave their body at an auspicious or inauspicious moment, by accident or by arrangement. Being fully surrendered, they leave everything in Krishna's hand and they easily go back to the spiritual world. So the unallied devotees, or they just definitely they go to Krishna Loka. It doesn't matter to them. The best way is to be absorbed in Krishna consciousness, to be always devoted in Krishna service. And this will make our path easy to go to the spiritual kingdom, which is safe, certain, and direct. The word Yoga Yukta is especially significant, says one who is firm in yoga is constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness and this activity. Rupa Goswami says, Anasaktasya Vishaya Yadarham Upayunjare Nirbande Krishna Sambande Yukta Vairagya Uchade. One should be unattached in material first and do everything in Krishna consciousness. By this, there will be Yukta Vairagya, one attains perfection. Okay. So here you can see the supreme destination of Bhakti Yoga. What happens? They can surpass all rituals of 4 different orders of life. Like for brahmachari, householders, vanaprastha, sannyasa. What happens? Brahmacharis, they study Vedas under the spiritual master. Then they might go to a household life or grihastha. They do sacrifice, charity and all. And then go to vanaprastha, penances. Then take sannyas. and they go to elevation of perfectional stage of life. Srila Prabhupada has gone through all these stages. He was a brahmachari till 25 something. Then he got married, he got kids. Then he took vanaprastha. Later on, he took sannyas also. So he have experienced all this. Now, we might be in one of these ashrama, and some can get elevated to heavenly kingdoms, but some go to Krishna's world. But supreme position of the Bhakti yogis is that the beauty of Krishna consciousness, that by one stroke of devotional service, we can all surpass all these ashramas and go back to Krishna. Itam viditva means one should understand that the instruction given by Krishna in this chapter, that one should try to understand these chapters not by scholarship or mental speculation, but by hearing them in association with devotees. Here, Prabhupada really talks about, like Krishna talks about how to leave the body. Okay, so here we had some faith in Krishna. That is in Bhagavad Gita. We started as Sadhu Shraddha. Then we had Sadhu Sangha. We had association of devotees like Srila Prabhupada's puppets. Then in the association of devotees, what happens? All anartha nivritti happens. That means all anarthas goes away from us. Then we become nishta. We become fixed in our study. Then there is ruchi and asakti. We start getting the taste. And bhava and prema. There will be advanced stage, the highest stage. And then there is Krishna prema and then eternal happiness. Okay. So this is Arjuna's question, like how a person can remember Krishna at the time of death. Now in the 9th chapter, we'll see more. There is Raja Vidya, Raja Gupya, the most confidential knowledge. Krishna is explaining, okay, which is the more confidential part of the knowledge. Okay, so we finished this chapter. It is 28 slokas. Mataji, just remind me for giving the OBA. That is open book we should give now.
Yes, Mataji.
Chapter. Yeah, first open book.
Shall I post the attendance link, Mataji?
Yes. No breakout room. So any questions, anything to add?
Mataji, that Pani Hatti festival is also coming, no? Can you just tell something on it?
Here we don't do it, but
Right.
yes, Pani Hatti is a place where the Danda festival happened. That is Raghunathas Goswami. He left everything and ran to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 2-3 times. He was such a big landlord, son. And without going to Nityananda Prabhu, he went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it is said it's like a punishment. Like through Guru only we should go to the God. So when Raghunathas Goswami the 3rd time tried to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, go to Nityananda Prabhu and then come. So Nityananda Prabhu from the far, he called, he's the thief, because he stole my property. That means Raghunathas Goswami tried to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without Nityananda Prabhu's approval. So he was giving a punishment. Nityananda Prabhu gave a punishment that you should, in that place called Pani Hatti, you should do Chita Dahi. Like you should, Dahi, that is curd, yogurt. You should make poha, chipped rice. And then some sugars and then some kind of fruits available. And they give it as prasadam to everyone. So that is called Pani Hatti Chidadahi festival, where it's like a Danda festival, a punishment given by Sri Nityananda Prabhu to Raghunathas Goswami to give this prasadam to everyone. And everyone had prasadam. Mahaprabhu also had, Nityananda Prabhu also had. They jumped in ecstasy, and Nityananda Prabhu with his lotus feet blessed Raghunathas Goswami that very soon you'll go back to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So finally, Raghunathas Goswami could go back to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's a festival, Mataji, where I've seen they take Gauritais and they go to some river areas where they take a dip and give bath to Gauritais, and they make this Chitadahi that there is milk preparation also sometimes, and
Yes.
then they give it. And it's very sweet.
Here we have it, Mataji, in a temple here, Hubli. We
Yeah,
are
very nice.
celebrating this Masa.
When is it?
But I didn't understand why it was called Danda festival,
Yeah, it's a punishment given by Nityananda Prabhu. It's a sweet punishment.
But he was a devotee, no, Mataji? He's a devotee. He's trying to take darshan only, no?
It's just a sweet punishment. See, making prasadam and giving to others. It's a sweet punishment. It's not just for fun. It's just to
elevating him, no?
make us realize that only through Guru can we go back to Krishna. So it's not real Danda. It's just a fun festival. It's a punishment in the sense, just to show us the example. Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. Pass in the baby chat. Patitana Bhavaniva Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare